Hello, hello. Just jumping in quickly with a little reminder and invitation to apply to the Aligned and Unstoppable Mastermind if it's been calling to you, if you've been feeling pulled to it. Applications close tomorrow at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, the 30th of August, and we start this week. Can't wait. So I also wanted to speak to two other things. One funny thing that just happened to me as I was about to come and record this, and one is something that I've just been speaking to on social media and in my email little love notes this week. And it's trusting what you can't see in your business. And this all relates to the mastermind, of course, because belief change work and stepping into more possibility and trusting that you can create what you haven't yet seen in your business, and that you can call in more of what you're calling in even without having that evidence yet. It's all part of trusting what you can't see. So I'm just literally going to read you this email that I sent out the other day, and I really feel like it speaks to this concept of really powerfully activating and calling in your next level even before you have evidence of it, and the trust that is required. So I've said here, there's something to be said for trusting what you can't see in your business. You can't see all the clients who are talking themselves into working with you. You can't see the clients who rave about you to their friends, hairdresser, sister, colleague, and anyone who will listen. You can't see all the people who are sitting at dinner with their friends talking about the amazing email you just sent. You can't see the person who keeps going back to your Instagram account to reread your posts because they help them so much. You can't see the reaction of the person who's telling their partner all about that reel / story / video that you just posted and how much they can't wait to work with you. You can't see the people who have pages and pages of notes from that one workshop you once did, who talk about your work with their friends on a walk, or who go back to your website time and time again. You can't see the group text that mentions your name multiple times when someone asks for a recommendation. But just because you can't see all of this doesn't mean it doesn't exist or that it's not happening every day. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not working. When you trust what you can't see in your business, when you focus on the energy you're embodying, anchoring, and beaming out, instead of on stats, figures, and metrics, you do better work because you're doing it for humans and not numbers. When you trust what you can't see, you keep showing up until you do see. Higher numbers are a side effect of helping humans on a deeper level. I've seen a typo in that email, how funny. And trusting that the impact you're having cannot always be seen until you see it. And also, lower numbers can be as impactful. Less can call in more too. You can have 20 humans on your email list and serve 20 humans so deeply that they're clients and superfans for life. And this is when I invite you again into the mastermind to do this work of trusting the unseen, the energy around you, and the work you're doing with me. So this work grounds you in deep belief of who you are, deep belief in who your clients are and why they're coming to you, and why you are the absolute best and only person for this work that's flowing through you, and for how it needs to be received by you and then beamed out to your clients. You will deeply believe more about your business, in your business, your offers and the programs that you're running and how you're creating them. I guide you through the best ways to create your offers in a way that really serves and support the people who are going to be receiving them, and also you for how you're going to be selling them, delivering them, showing up in them. And this work also helps you see, as I said before, your clients. So it helps you see your clients in their fullest potential, and it helps you to pull up and hold up a mirror to them. For the days when they can't see themselves in their biggest potential, in their highest potential, you hold up that mirror and you're like, hey, this is how I see you. This is how you are showing up. This is the truth. And you guide them to that space because you already can see their potential. And this work also heals your timeline looking back. So it's not just about looking forwards and moving to where you want to be and creating different results in your business or bigger results in your business or doing things you've never done before. This work also heals past you. And when we heal stuff in the past, it actually changes our present day energy and thoughts. And then you think of it like the butterfly effect. One butterfly flapping their wings, here in Australia, well, it's the chaos theory, can, create a hurricane on the other side of the world. So if we think of that in terms of your timeline in a positive way, if we go back and we heal something from 6 months ago, from when something didn't go to plan, when something felt like it wasn't working, when you felt a little bit broken in your business, when something felt really incredibly challenging, and when we can go back and heal that and clear it and help you process it, it's just the energy and the rush of possibility that floods back in, just like whooshes back from then through your timeline to now, and it opens doorways into possibilities and paths that you didn't even know existed. So this work, the work that I guide you through, it is so powerful because in one way, because of that, and because of how I blend energy alchemy and this belief change work. And it's such a blend of both. And I think what is so important to know is that belief change work is, and a side note, I just Googled the definition of alchemy for fun the other day or yesterday. And it's defined as a seemingly magical process of transformation, creation, or combination, which I just think is amazing. And it's how I use it in my business, and it's how I use it to then support it into flowing into yours and blending the two. So blending the potency of energy work with the power of belief change work takes you deeper into your gifts than ever before. And when you step into your gifts, you change the air and you charge the air around you. You change the kinds of clients who flow into your business. You change how they find you. You change the quality of your efforts. You change the quality of your actions. You get to take less actual action. So I don't mean that you never take action, because of course you 100% do. It's just very different because you sit down at your desk and you know that what you're doing is enough. You know that everything you're doing is going to call in the clients that you want to call in, and everything that you aren't doing wasn't necessary to create what you're calling in and to create the space to receive it. And this combination, I truly believe with every cell in my being, opens portals to this biggest vision of yours. It helps you move towards the vision while it's also moving towards you. And it steeps you with the knowing and remembrance that you are perfect as you are today. And that is a really important point too. We're not doing belief change work to fix ourselves. We're doing it to look at ourselves in a new light, and more becomes available to us when we believe in the possibility of this light, of this space, of what's rushing in. And sometimes that means believing in possibility before we have evidence of it. And that's where I step in. I help you hold that before you've seen it. I help you hold the trust that you're creating this, that what you are ready and certain of is coming to you, or something better. Even when you are wavering, when you're not sure, I'm sure. When you're not certain, I'm certain for you. So all of this is to say, I would love to welcome you into this powerful, potent mastermind. If you want to chat more with me in real time, so if you're listening to this today, it's the 29th of August, I've opened up a couple of spots to chat with me tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, or just DM me or send me an email at Cassie Mendoza-Jones, and we can have a chat if those spots get booked up, or it's not, we've passed that time, whatever. Come over and have a chat with me, or you can apply straight away in the link in my show notes. So the URL there is cassiemendozajones.com/mastermind. And here's what the funny story that I wanted to share with you before I close out this little bonus invitation. So I'm always guided by the energy of my business, right? And as I was coming to record this for you, I was thinking about what I plug into energetically myself before I show up to invite you into the mastermind, before I show up to share or to teach, or before I show up to my calls, or anytime I'm plugging into the energy of my business, anytime I'm anchoring into my own work, and also every time I'm doing this at a new level, right? So it's just like, how do I plug in? What am I embodying? How am I showing up? And that word plugging in was just like floating in my consciousness. And I went to my son, I just put him down for his nap, and I went to plug in his baby monitor, and it just wasn't working. I kept turning on the camera, turning on like the handheld monitor part, like the video, and it kept saying, there's no connection. And I'm like, what do you mean there's no connection? It's turning on. I can see it plugged in. Like, what do you mean there's no connection? And I stood there for like 3 minutes. And if you have a little person, 3 minutes is like, that's precious nap time. Like, I can get a lot done in 3 minutes. And I kept standing there, turning the monitor on and off, on and off, on and off, the video, the camera, whatever. And I was getting so annoyed. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to double check the actual plug in the wall. And I went and looked, and for some reason, it's never come out before because it's so like behind the bed. But the actual plug had come out of the wall socket, whatever it is. And I laughed, well, very quietly because I didn't want to wake him. And I literally plugged it back in. And I was like, haha, universe, this is funny. I plugged it back in. And then, of course, the camera worked straight away. And I could come out here and record for you. But I just thought that was so funny because I'm talking about plugging in. I always ask my clients, like, well, what are you sitting in? What are you embodying? What is, we can command our own presence when we're showing up for our clients. What are you sitting in? What's the thoughts and the feelings and the energy of where you're at right now? And then I was reminded to very literally plug back in. And I just thought it was so funny. And I really want to share that story with you. And there's also something that I want to do. I'm just going to pull a card for us. I'm going to pull a card from the deck that I'm using is Oracle of the Seven Energies by Colette Baron Reid. You'll hear me opening and shuffling. Sorry, I will not edit that out because I don't really mind if you hear that. And I'm going to pull, there are 3 cards coming out. 1, 2. All right, so 1 card is for me for later. And I just muscle test to get this information. 1 card is for us all now as a collective. And then 1 card, this is coming up, this is fun, is for those who haven't yet said yes to the mastermind, but it's been on their mind, in their body, and they feel pulled to it. So I'll read this to you. The first one is for all of us. It says, let it go. It's number 24. So it says, forgiveness, healing resentments, shedding the role of the eternal martyr, letting go of victimhood, cutting the ties that bind you to a destructive story, releasing pain so you can move into the lesson it offers, and relinquishing the need to be right. So it says here, there are times in life when you must forgive, lest you become a hostage to your anger, frustration, disappointments, and resentments. This is not about condoning bad behavior or minimizing a hurt done to you. Forgiveness is simply a commitment to stop telling an old story so you don't carry its burden anymore. If you don't forgive, old hurts fester and become distorted, causing you pain over and over again. You become trapped in a prison of your own making, tied to the story that you were a victim. It's time to cut the invisible cords attaching you to the situation and preventing you from moving forwards. The truth is, you are victimizing yourself every time you recreate the unresolved hurt in your mind or speak of it with friends. Rather than allow this folly to repeat, surrender the situation to your higher power. Now is the time for radical forgiveness. Say no to drama in all forms. Forgive yourself and others for engaging in it. Consider the ancient Hawaiian practice known as, I'm probably going to mispronounce this, Ho'oponopono, even though I've used it before and it's beautiful. This simple practice is a beautiful way to begin the process of forgiveness. I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. It's based on the idea that we are all responsible for the reality that we see in the world. If something is awry, whether it's your perception, your emotional reactions, your judgment, and so forth, it's up to you to clean it up. Forgiveness is the key to a liberated and meaningful life. No matter what method you choose, just do it. I love that. And I think it's so perfect also for belief change work and what I was saying before about forgiving yourself and healing your timeline, looking back to open doorways into your potential and possibility and new paths. So I love that. And that simple prayer again is, I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. All right. And then the card for anyone on the fence. Anyone on the fence. It says here, and that idea dropped in actually while I was putting my son to sleep now. I knew I was going to come and record this like little final reminder invitation, and then the idea dropped in: pull a card for anyone who needs to hear it, who has been like umming and ahhing. It's a hard word to say, easier to write that one out. And so here it is. It's number 28, and it says broken open. And I'll tell you straight away that every time I've been writing about the immersive opening retreat that we're starting with, the business activation retreat, I keep saying this will break open your business in the best way possible. So that's what lands for me immediately. And what it says here is being shattered as a result of loss and the potential inherent in failure. Okay, let's see what comes up here. It says there are situations in life when you see the value of loss, grief, and a broken heart. Yet it's not the pain or loss itself that must be the focus of your attention here. No, not even the story of what happened, the details surrounding what has brought you to your knees not even the story of what happened or the details surrounding what has brought you to your knees is as important as what results from the experience. Can you see that this situation has broken you wide open, enabling you to have an even greater capacity for love, compassion, empathy, and understanding? You cannot be the same person as before. Oh, I get goosebumps because I didn't record this, but if you know me, you know that like when I pull cards, it's just so spot on to what we've just been talking about. This is in private calls. This is on like in my group coaching containers. And even on my invitation page for the mastermind, I've said, once you see belief change work, you cannot unsee it, and your business will never be the same again, because you can't unsee the work. You can't go back. So that's what this is saying here as well. The only way forward is to move through it without resistance or manipulation, without attempting to bargain with unseen forces, because none of your usual fallbacks can put you back together again. If you do fall prey to self-absorption or self-pity, it will just make it harder to get to the next gradual phase leading to relief. Yet even if you are prolonging the inevitable, you will get there eventually. The gift is in accepting who you've become as a consequence of integrating this difficult experience and allowing yourself to be more than you were. This wisdom comes at a high price, but the value of your experience of moving through and to the other side is unsurpassed. And then I love this last line, says, love the you that is the result of being broken open by life's challenges and lessons. I love that. I think, so what comes to me is accepting. I love here, it says, you'll be more than you were before. And this wisdom might come, like you might feel like this wisdom cost you something to receive, but there's such value, and when you've moved through to the other side, and when you're living in that embodiment of more and of, it says here, the gift is in accepting who you've become as a consequence of integrating this difficult experience. Everything we do in our businesses guides us to the next phase. It deepens our messages. It asks us to show up in deeper congruence and alignment with what we're sharing and speaking and how we're showing up. And sometimes it's really uncomfortable or difficult, or it can feel hard sometimes when you're processing stuff that you're processing, or when things haven't gone the way that you've wanted them to, or when you feel like you've been hurt, or as the card says, broken open before. This is saying here, can you see that this has given you an even greater capacity for love, compassion, empathy, and understanding? So what has broken you open is actually helping you move into deeper and higher breakthrough. That's how I see it. So I don't know what else lands there for you. Let me know. Come over to Instagram and tell me. I really so love hearing from you. And let me know what came through either card, the Let It Go card, the Broken Open card. And as I said, I would love to welcome you into the mastermind. We only have a couple of places left, and then I close doors until March of 2023. So we start with our beautiful Kickstart Business Activation Immersion training, which, as I've said, and I'll say again, I see it as breaking open your business to step you into this portal of what's next, of what's pulling you into higher frequency, into this level that you know is available for you. And we do this from our natural state. We do this by being more of who we are, all of who we are, and not hiding or shaming ourselves for hiding. So come over and have a chat with me. I am around, I'm available if you have questions, and the link again is in the show notes. So have a look there. If you have any questions, let me know and send through your application. it just checks that we're a really good fit together, and then we'll take it from there. So lots of love to you, and I'll talk to you again really soon.